afternoon, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Try Bonsai. It's your boy, Bana, and today is a long-awaited day. Today, I wouldn't call it the make or break day, but what is happening, my friends? Here is a rain tree. I've had this rain tree for more than a couple years, and I've been able to air layer from this rain tree. Now, when I originally got it, it had what you call it, a suspect root system, and rather than trying to do over the rooting system, granted, I did not have the amount of knowledge that I have now. Not saying that I have plenty knowledge, but I have more than I had then. Granted that, what I opted to do, rather than doing over the rooting system, I placed a rock under it in an attempt to create a root over rock type situation. So, what we're going to do today is remove the tree from this growing container, aka a bucket, and we're going to see how it is going so far, and we are going to repot it into something shallower. So we're not going to go back into this bucket. We're going to go into one of the tile pots that I created. Now, if the tile pots are not suited for this, what I'm going to do is I have a round pot. I can place it into that. But what ideally I want to create is a nice canopy with this. So it's a lot of practicing and, years in the making. So let's see after this root over rock, rain tree, well, let's see. So I'm bringing you guys in a bit closer to see what is happening. And in the earlies, wire was the instrument of choice with regards to tying the roots to the rock. And this was the rooting system, or something of the rooting system. Has it, or is it a successful root over rock? And if not wholly and solely successful, are we making progress? I do not know. I am questioning the type of rock that I used, but we will see what is happening. So this is the tree holistically that you can see, right? And I let this kind of dry out as much as I could. So now we're going to remove this, and we're going to see what is happening and how we're going to treat with these roots. That's the next thing. I have never done severe root work on a rain tree before. So another first, another exciting bit of work to do to see what is the outcome. I don't want to lose the tree. Well, I don't want to lose the tree. But I'm not saying that I'm going to lose it. Let me just say that. I'm not going to lose it at all. But we're going to have to do some root work to create the spread that we want, the radial spread that we want, and to ensure that if it is at least halfway there, it could continue. And if it is not there at all, we could do it over. Well, let's say. Yeah, so let's get to that. So I've turned the bucket to the side on my outdoor workable turntable / old chair, and as you can see, I am pressing against the bucket, or the what do you call this anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm pressing against it so that this could come out, and it is sliding out. So I'm gonna get this out and hope that I don't get stuck with some rain tree thorns. Yeah. Yep. We out. Now, my friends, this is exciting stuff. because this has good, nice roots, a lot of roots, and they've been circling in this bucket. As I said, I had this, for a little over 2 years, and this is a nice thing to see. This is a nice thing to see. And I originally got this rain tree from my good pal Errol. Oh Lord, in my story of bonsai, a lot of my things have been attributed to Errol. As I adjust the camera just slightly, Errol, Dion, and Del Kerry. I've gotten a lot of information and teachings from these guys, and we work together along with other members of Bonsai TNT, because they are all members of Bonsai TNT. And just a plug for them, you could go and check them on Facebook. And if you have, for those who reside within Trinidad and Tobago or the Caribbean, or even further beyond the Caribbean shores, you could check them out on Facebook and see what is happening. You want to know something if you're beyond the shores and you want to know something about Caribbean stuff, you can reach to me, you can reach to them, and it's all good. Anyways, getting back to the job at hand. So, my friends, what I'm going to do now, I am going to do some root work. So, I'm going to take my time and start to remove the soil from this, getting to see what is happening with this root of a rock system and how the fibrous part of the root system is running, because I don't want to do too much, I want to take it in steps over time. So, let we disco. So, it's times like these, you wish you had something big to rest this into, to collect the dirt. But say what, you know what? I will clean it up after. So, I've started at the top of this tree, not the bottom, at the top, and I'm going to go down, exposing more and more of the rooting system, and whilst untangling these roots, because, and I know you're not seeing as good as you should, because the roots grew very nicely and they started to circle in the bucket. Now, they haven't been circling too much, but we have a lot of good roots, a lot of good young roots happening here. So, I'm not going to mash all up with boredom with doing this. So we go come back when I finish with this part. Yeah. This is as far as I've gotten, and I just had a loss for words there. And so far, all of this thing looking kind of good. So far, so good. What is happening is that it seems the tree, as I rock it ever so slightly, seems to be somewhat latched onto the rock. So, I'm not going to totally remove all of the soil from this. So, as I said, it's a gradual process. And I don't think that, I'm not sure as yet, but I do think a tile pot might work for this. It may need, the tile pot may be a little too narrow for this. I might need a little bit more space. I don't know yet. We're still going. and are going around just kind of exposing a little bit, and then what we will have to do is come in and remove some of these roots. I have a very thick, big root here that has to be cut off, and we'll remove some stuff, exposing at least part of the root over rock, or root over rock kinda on rock planting. And we will remove, I'm saying we like you doing it, I will then remove this wire and put this back, put this into a pot, put it secure, and let this go for another period. Yeah, so let's continue on with this and let's get to potting up afterwards. Okay, my friends, so I was able to remove as much dirt as I wanted to from the top, exposing the rock, and I have rock all here. Woo-hoo. Well, to be very honest, I don't remember exactly what kind of rock I put under this. I knew at the time it was a nice rock, I liked it, and I put it. Anyways, so it seems to be somewhat fastened to the rock, but I'm not going to expose any more at this time. So what you saw me do is I scrape the bottom of it, and now what I'm going to do is all of this scraggly growth outside, I'm going to remove this, and we're going to check to see what pots we could use. Yeah, I took the opportunity to go and get another pot. When I say I took the opportunity, I went in the back and got another pot. A pot this size would have been ideal, perfect. However, that is not the case. So what I have is this concrete round pot. However, I think it may be just a tad bit too big. So let me, with caution, offer this up into the pot to see. How does that look? Well, it didn't look too bad at all, you know. But I still think it's a lot of pot for this. And I want to bring the root ball, I want to bring the sizing down to just slightly wider than the root ball, or thereabouts where the root ball is concerned, you know. Because ideally, what I want to do is to create that nice canopy over time. And that's some work that I'll get the opportunity to do now. You know, with this repotting. Take my time with it. You know, take my good casual time with this. Because I want this to be one of, and I'm saying it, I want this to be one of the many successes that I have traversing my way through the world of bonsai into my old age. Yes, I would like to be doing this into my old age, all fully gray and hopefully walking as strongly as possible and still enjoying this tremendously calming, pleasing, rewarding, exciting, depressing hobby. Because this is bringing some depression as well. All right, my friends. So there's a lot that has been exposed. I'm not going to expose any more rock system. I keep brushing away items, and I don't think that I want to expose anything more. What I'm going to do now, other than giving it a little spritz for all the exposed ends, I'm going to offer it up into the tile pot and see which one suits it best right now. as it stands. When we're talking about a particular front for the tree, this to me is a very good front. Once this root sits nicely down, this is also a nice front, you know. It has the roots, the workings of the roots, and let me see how the canopy looks. Either side looks good to me. Yes, at this stage, either side looks pretty much okay with me. Now we tried it with in this pot. Let me try it in another one. So I'm gonna carefully remove it from this pot and gently bring it down into a tile pot. Now my friends, this is the tile pot, and as you can see, I have to remove a bit from the sides for it to slip down into this pot. And as I wiggle it down, it is not to the bottom as yet, so there is space. And I'm wondering, is this tile pot too narrow? It is good lengthways, but on the sides, let me move, break away just a bit on this side, and rake away just a bit on this side, and see how that fits. What I can do is flatten the root ball just a bit more, but what will happen is that I am going to have a lot of exposure to the top here, and I don't know if that is the best bet or how to treat with this right now. So I'm gonna have to think about this for a bit and come back with a good idea or a good plan. So let me look at this for a few minutes. So after a lot of deliberation and phone a friend, it is going into this rounded pot. It's a little bit big, however, it gives it a lot of room, some nice room to do some growing. And whilst I'm thinking about that, remember I wanted to place this root along somewhere here, but this root is going so very straight up. I wonder if I could pin him down into a better place, and I will try that to see if that works. If it doesn't, well, all right. So without any further delays, let me start getting this root ball back into some soil and giving it a good soaking and letting it do what it does. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I've put a base layer of soil, and now I'm going to place this root in a radial kind of a pattern along this point here. And I'm going to get a little piece of wire to make what you call it, something like a hook, not a hook, to hold it down in this spot. And I'm going to cut this here. So this root has been placed. Do I want it there? No, I want it a little closer to the corner. So I want it closer to this corner here, in this crease. Let me turn so you can see. I want it down in this crease here and going into the soil. Maybe this might be a little too long. Right. So that is there. What I'm going to do now is to start filling up. Number one, checking to see, because as it's a circular pot, I would like to have it a little off, do I want it off center? Or do I want it center? This is a little bit off. I think here is fine. There is fine. Let's fill this up with some soil and then give this a very good soaking. After I finish filling it up, any roots that I see sticking out of the profile, that's the word, the profile, I would either cut away or tuck in. Nice and neat. What I did not do, what I am yet to do, is to look at the top of the tree and see if there's anything that I want to remove. And what I'm removing right now, let me show you. What I'm removing right now is dead bits from previous cuts. Okay, so now that I've moved those dead bits away, what I could look at, because as I said, I would like to develop a canopy, and the height I would want for this canopy is about here, just to the top of the camera here, you know, nice and wide, about there. But in order to do that, I have to do some directional pruning, because I'm not a big fan of wire work. So I'm going to do some directional pruning, and as I cut, I'm going to leave a bit of room for dieback. So my friends, that is it. I repotted this Brazilian rain tree, my root over rock, and let me give you a 360 view of that, and then we're going to go up into the canopy where I just did some pruning. So as you can see, I have a nice kind of crevice going on underneath there. And this rock, so far this is sitting on this rock very nicely. I don't know if in the future I'm going to make a choice and remove one of these roots, more than likely the center, to give way for this one here and this one here. And likewise on the other side, there is a root coming down here, but there's also a root coming across here. So I don't know if I'm going to remove that. We shall see. The future is coming, and decisions will be made. Moving on to the canopy. So I did some pruning back of the canopy, pruning to an outward facing leaf so that I can develop that umbrella or canopy like setting that I want from this tree. So let me know, guys, what you think in the comments about the choice in pot as well as the overall job. And yeah, that's it there. Let me just give you a 360 view on the canopy, so you can see the cut points. And what I would do, make sure that I have more wood glue get some wood glue and put it on the major cut points to avoid any unnecessary rotting. So that's it for today. As per usual, like, subscribe, share. If you know anyone that would benefit from the work that I'm doing, share it. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate new subscriptions. To everyone who has subscribed thus far, thank you so very much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your continued support. Yeah, I a little joke before I go. I was between a few bodies of work to do today. Originally, this was the plan. And then, you go around your garden and I start to see things that I know, hey, I need to work on this and I need to work on this. And I could create something and I could create. And it just went hazy and I was like, you know what? I must stick to the original plan. I don't know how much earlier that has happened too, but it has happened. Anyways, my friends, it's a very good Sunday afternoon. Sun is shining on my side of the equator. A little bit of sunshine for you guys out there in the cold because I know you're all experiencing snow. Nigel, I know it is very cold by you. Ooh. I hope we'll get some sun soon. Some hot, hot sun soon. Alright, so all you know the usual. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Treat people how you want to be treated. And always remember that our climate is our responsibility. We have an opportunity to change it for the better. If not for ourselves, think about the future generations. And on that note, my friends, I'll go see you soon. Take care. Bye.